While it's got the look of a high-end chronograph watch, the Armitron Atlas is certainly not going to break the bank. What's good, bro? I'm LUISGUSTO. Welcome back to another watch review. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more watch and style content. We're trying to get to 300 subscribers and I appreciate each and every one of you. Today we're taking a look at this bad boy. It's the Armitron Atlas with the green face and bezel. Drop a comment if you own this watch, and if not, I will have a link in the description to Armitron's website, which is currently the only spot where you can pick this one up. The Armitron Atlas retails for $95 and comes in standard Armitron watch packaging. That's a white watch pillow inside of a grayish box with silver Armitron lettering. Before we get into how I feel about this watch, let's talk about the materials that the Armitron Atlas is constructed from. The Atlas is an all stainless steel watch. That's a stainless steel case, a brushed and polished stainless steel oyster style bracelet with a fold over closure, and a stainless steel back. The watch crystal is made from a mineral glass. The Atlas measures 45 millimeters lug to lug. It's got a case width of 52.3 millimeters and the watch weighs around 154 grams. Like I mentioned, the watch crystal is made from a mineral glass. It's got 2 pushers and 1 crown. Now, although it does have the look of a chronograph, it does not have that functionality, but we'll talk about that later in the review. And now let's take a look at how the Armitron Atlas looks on my 7.5-inch wrist. And now let's take a closer look at the Armitron Atlas watch face, starting with that bezel that's very reminiscent of the bezel on a Rolex Submariner. It does have a textured grip to it, but it's not movable, unlike some of the other dive style watches that you're used to. It's got that beautiful bold green color that you can see on the watch dial. Below the mineral crystal, you can see a sloping chapter ring with Arabic numerals. The watch face has applied indices and an arrow marker at the 12 o'clock position. The hour and minute hand have applied lume. The second hand is hackable. On the watch dial, you got the Armitron branding, the water 165 feet, and steel words. And there are 3 sub dials on this watch. One for day of the week, one for the hour in 24-hour mode, and one for the date. Now let's quickly get into the features of the Armitron Atlas. We're not gonna spend a whole lot of time here because unlike some of the other watches that we've looked at so far on this channel, the Atlas doesn't really have a whole lot of features. Although it does have the look of a chronograph, it does not have that functionality. Those 2 pushers will adjust the day of the week and the date respectively. To adjust the time, you can just pull out that crown to move the hour and minute hand. The seconds are hackable. Once you push that crown back, the seconds will begin to tick again. It is water resistant up to 165 feet, and it does have some lume, which is not the best, but it does show up. And now that we've got the materials, the measurements, and the features of this watch out of the way, let's get into how I feel about the Armitron Atlas. First and foremost, this is by far the nicest watch that I reviewed on this channel up to this point. We've mostly looked at digital watches, Casios, G-Shock. We looked at a Timex watch and a couple of other Armitron watches. As many of y'all know, I'm working directly with the Armitron watch company. They've sent over a few of their timepieces for me to keep and review on this channel. They have no input as to the opinions expressed about the watches. They sent me a few of their new models, but asked me to pick out one from their catalog that I felt fit my personal style, so I went for the Atlas. And I think it's an absolutely gorgeous looking watch that comes in at an affordable price point. Coming in at just under $100, if you're looking for something that's a little bit more upscale from the standard watches that you'll find on Amazon, I think the Atlas is the way to go. I love that green color. It doesn't exactly go with everything, but it's a bold statement piece popping from that beautiful stainless steel bracelet and case. I did have to pop one of the links out of the bracelet in order to accommodate my 7.5-inch wrist, but that process was very easy. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, the bezel is very reminiscent of the Rolex Submariner. But although this watch has the look of a dive watch / chronograph, it has none of the functionality. The bezel does not rotate, although it does have that textured grip to it, and the 2 pushers do not start and stop a timer. The pushers instead adjust the day of the week and the date. On the positive side, it's very easy to set these, but on the con side, if you accidentally push one of these, you're gonna have to go all the way around to get that correct setting. It's a very easy watch to adjust. I just go to time.gov, I wait for that 0, pull out the crown, adjust the hours and the minutes. The seconds are hackable. Once you push that crown back in, the hand starts again. And it's been very accurate. Although it is a little light in functionality, I don't necessarily think that's what you're looking for in a watch like this. Many of y'all are gonna have a smartphone with a stopwatch, a countdown timer, an alarm, so you're not really looking for those features in a dressier sport watch like this. I believe that the Atlas does come in a couple other colors, but currently on the Armitron website, the green is the only one available for purchase. Even though this is by far the nicest watch that I've reviewed on this channel up to this point, I would still classify this as an affordable watch. It comes in at just under $100, but I wouldn't exactly say it's a budget watch. If you are looking for something that's a little bit more upscale, a little bit nicer than a digital watch, something that has some personality to it, the Atlas is a perfect one to add to your collection. I really love the stainless steel construction of this watch. The green bezel and dial really pop. You could wear it to the office, on an interview, on a first date, maybe not to the gym or running errands or cleaning your house, but that's what the cheaper digital watches are for. I've had this watch in my collection for a couple of months now, and I've worn it several times around New York City. You can see it on my food and travel channel. I've also worn it on dates with my girlfriend and times that we've gone out for dinner and drinks with friends. I really like the look of this watch. It's gotten several compliments when I've rocked it around New York City, and that's always a good thing. Like I mentioned before on this channel, I began my watch journey in October of 2023. That's when I sold my Apple Watch and picked up a Casio F91W. I decided to start this watch channel and review that watch, so I knew that I was going to be adding more watches to my collection. So far, most of them have been digital watches. Of course, those are the most affordable ones. It's easy to get a start in reviewing watches and sharing them with the world. Then I linked up with Armitron and they were able to send me a couple of nicer timepieces, and the Atlas by far is the nicest one in my collection. Besides going to the gym and editing videos, I film for my food and travel channel. And on that channel, we go to Michelin star restaurants, we go to upscale bars, and we travel to different cities around this country and world. So I knew that just digital watches in my collection wasn't really gonna cut it, but I didn't want to jump straight into a $500, $2,000 watch. So the Armitron Atlas is a nice bridge between those cheaper digital watches and maybe the more upscale, dressier watches that are gonna really put a dent in that wallet. It's a personal favorite of mine. I know I'm gonna keep it in my collection for many years, despite what other watches I may add to my collection. But I wanna know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below. How do you feel about the Armitron Atlas? Is it something that you're gonna consider for your collection? As always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, bro.